Just 5 years ago, finding a comfortable natural mattress that was actually affordable was pretty much impossible. Today, that has completely changed. All natural mattresses are more comfortable than they've ever been, and they're also more affordable than they've ever been as well. And which brings us to this mattress right here. This is the WinkBed EcoCloud Hybrid Mattress. Promising the best of both worlds in terms of comfort and support, does this mattress live up to the hype, or is it better left in this review? So first up is comfort. And one thing you'll notice with almost all natural mattresses is they're using a very similar construction. Almost every single natural mattress is using coils as their base layer of support these days, and then a latex on top. One difference you'll notice though is that this mattress is using Talalay latex, and they're boldly proclaiming it all over their website. But you might be wondering, is that a marketing gimmick or is it for real? First, we need to understand what the heck Talalay latex even is. So latex is a natural material that comes from the rubber tree, and how they make it is they tap these rubber trees, the sap comes out, then they take that sap, put it into a mold as well as other chemicals, and then they basically bake it, and it causes it to rise pretty similar to bread. The difference between anything that says latex and Talalay latex is Talalay latex actually gets put into a centrifuge after those materials are added, and they spin out the impurities. And what that results in is a more durable, higher quality, more pure latex that's also notably softer. And this translates to a latex foam that is often notated as being more comfortable than other latex foams. So is it a marketing gimmick? No, absolutely not. Talalay latex is the highest quality latex that you can put into a bed. Now, I do want to say, any other mattress that is using latex, if they don't say specifically that they're using Talalay latex, they're often using Dunlap latex, which is the one that keeps the impurities. It's a bit firmer. It's not quite as durable, but it's not a significant difference either. The difference is primarily going to be in that natural purity that is being retained and that comfort. So how does this bed fare? Well, they're using 4 inches of Talalay latex right on top. Considering that this mattress is using Talalay latex, you would be forgiven for thinking that this would just automatically be a more comfortable mattress than the competition. However, there's a few things that make this mattress just not that great in our opinion in terms of comfort. And first and foremost, that's gonna be, you only have the one Talalay latex layer, and then beyond that, you just have the coil. Most other latex mattresses are going to use a layered materials approach, and that results in a bed that just has a smoother transition between the comfort layers up top and the support underneath. The EcoCloud is not that, and I would actually venture to say that the Talalay latex actually harms this mattress. Given that they're using a higher quality latex that's noted for being more comfortable and luxurious feeling, you would be forgiven for thinking that this bed would automatically be more luxurious and comfortable than the competition. But unfortunately, in reality, that's not really the case. You see, this bed suffers from a single layer approach. And what I mean by that is, in this mattress, you have your 4 inches of Talalay latex, and then you just have the coils underneath. And what that results in is a pretty stark transition between the comfort layers at the top and the supporting structure underneath. And I found that this mattress just wasn't quite as comfortable as I was hoping that it would be compared to the competition, given that they are using Talalay latex. This is a mattress that really misses the mark for side sleepers, is going to be okay for back sleepers, and okay for stomach sleepers as well. And that's a pretty big disappointment. I didn't find this mattress to be particularly comfortable in any position that I tried it, and especially on my side. For a reference point, I am 5'10", I'm about 170 pounds, and I'm a side sleeper, and this mattress just generated way too much pressure on my shoulders and on my hips. When I flipped over onto my back, I did notice that the balance of the mattress was doing a much better job to give me support as well as comfort, but it still wasn't above any competition that I tried, and I wouldn't really recommend this mattress for stomach sleepers either. This bed wasn't really a standout in any position that I tried, and unfortunately it was quite uncomfortable on my side. That's not to say that this is a inherently uncomfortable or bad mattress. The problem is the competition is just doing a better job, and there's a lot of competition. Now, if you are looking for an all-natural mattress that's really comfortable at a similar price point, well, I think like a few $100s more, I would highly recommend the Birch Natural Luxe mattress as an alternative to this one. Now, if you are looking for an all-natural mattress that's super comfortable, we've reviewed plenty here on the channel, and we have plenty of recommendations. That bed is still coming in under $2,000 in a queen, but it's just way more comfortable than the EcoCloud in our opinion. And that takes us to edge support. So like most all-natural latex mattresses, edge support is an area where the EcoCloud excels, and that's a multifaceted thing. And that's because the coils that they're using in this mattress are really great coils, but beyond that, they're using latex, which is a more rigid foam than something like memory foam. So the difference between memory foam and latex foam is when you lay on memory foam, you sink into the mattress. It's a negative resistance foam. And what that means is as it compresses, it's going to eventually reach a state of equilibrium and stop compressing. Latex is different. Latex is a positive resistance foam. And what that means is as you lay on a latex mattress, it's going to compress, but it's also going to push back and you'll reach a state of equilibrium much quicker. And because of that, these are mattresses that not only do you sleep on top of them, but in terms of edge support, they typically do a much better job. Now, being that this is a softer latex compared to what you might find in some of the competition, being that it's, of course, because it's Talalay, you might think that that would harm the edge support, but actually the coils here are really making a pretty big difference. And this mattress has some pretty good edge support as far as all natural mattresses go. You can see here, I'm sitting on the side of the bed and yeah, it's caving a little bit, but that's natural and normal. If your bed doesn't cave at all, you're probably sleeping on a board. But what really matters is when you lay on this mattress. And this is a mattress that I could just get up right to the very edge of and still not feel like I was falling out. The edge support is phenomenal, and that's a great thing, particularly for couples who are looking at this bed in a queen size, because we already know if edge support's poor in a mattress, you're gonna have to scoot in, and when that happens, you're closer to your partner and you're gonna feel them all night long, and you don't want that. The EcoCloud passes the edge support mark with flying colors, and because of that, we give edge support an 8.5 out of 10. And that takes us to motion isolation. So remember earlier how we talked about that single layer approach to this mattress? Yeah, that's gonna have a pretty big impact here in terms of motion isolation as well. Anytime that you have the coil and then just a single layer on the bed, you really only have that one hinge point. You don't have much to dampen motion throughout. Now, this is an individually pocketed coil system, but that's every mattress these days. And because of that, motion isolation is pretty much passable no matter what mattress you get. But the motion isolation is definitely notable here because it's a single layer of latex, and everything that your partner is doing is going to be translated to you. You are going to feel them in this mattress. Had WinkBeds added a transition layer in between of either wool or Dunlap latex even, then this would have been a case where motion isolation wasn't really a problem. Is it a problem now? Not for most people, it won't be, but it will be for those who are light sleepers and for those who often wake up already because they feel their partner. That's definitely gonna happen in this bed. This is not a bed that's going to really help you in any way in regards to that. And that's a huge problem because partner disturbance is the #1 reason that they get poor sleep. If the mattress isn't gonna do anything for you in regards to that, and already it's not that comfortable because, let's be honest, this bed isn't that comfortable. And I'm gonna tell you right now, we've got problems. This bed is not that great in terms of motion isolation, and because of that, we give it a 6.5 out of 10. And that brings us to temperature regulation. Pretty much all latex mattresses do a wonderful job for a couple of reasons. One, latex is an open cell foam. Comparing it back to like a memory foam mattress, what that means is, earlier we talked about how when you lay on a memory foam mattress, it compresses. What happens there is it continually becomes more and more dense underneath you and allows less and less air to pass through. Latex, on the other hand, because it pushes back, it allows air to flow through really, really well. Beyond that, latex foam is actually perforated throughout. There's tons of little holes all the way through, which promotes great airflow in a mattress. So in terms of temperature regulation, this is a bed that you don't have to worry about waking up because you're hot at all. And that's a great thing. Now, that is pretty much the case for all latex mattresses out on the market, minus those that are using a lot of soft, materials like wool at the top. Those beds, they are gonna sleep a little bit warmer because wool compresses down and you lay deeper in that mattress as opposed to something like this. Now, the cover of this mattress is using organic cotton and New Zealand wool. So you do get a little bit of wool, but I'm really skeptical how much that is because I hardly noticed it. Now, in terms of temperature regulation, the cover is an organic cotton cover, which is cool to the touch. But like almost everything else that we've said about this mattress up to this point, the competition is pretty much doing the same thing at every price point you look to. Now, they are toting their New Zealand wool in this mattress, and I'm pretty skeptical of how much they're actually putting in. It's definitely not enough for me to notice because I didn't notice it when I laid on the bed, which tells me they're using very little. Regardless though, in terms of temperature regulation, this is a bed that does a great job, just like any other latex mattress out on the market. And because of that, we give temperature regulation an 8.5 out of 10. And that brings us to the last category, which is quality and durability of the bed. And that's where the conversation really happens here, if you're still interested in this mattress at this point. Talalay latex is a substantially higher quality latex than Dunlap, which is what's being used in almost every other latex mattress. And finding Talalay latex at this price point is really hard to do. But the proof is in the pudding, or mattress, I guess, because there's a reason that you don't really find Talalay latex in mattresses under $2,000. In order to put this level of latex in this mattress at this price point, they had to cut corners in almost every other area, and the result is a mattress that's just really middling and actually lags behind the pack in terms of what the average customer is looking for. Yes, this is truly an all-natural product. If you look at other latex mattresses, they'll tote that they're all natural, but those chemicals are still in those mattresses and you're still sleeping on them every single night. That's not the case here, which is great, but this mattress really would have benefited from just a few tweaks. If there was a transitional layer between the coils and the latex, this bed would be much more comfortable, like significantly more comfortable, but there's not. Regardless of the fact that they're using New Zealand wool, an organic cotton cover, great coils, by the way, we didn't even talk about those. The coils are phenomenal. They're a thicker gauge, they have more turns, and Talalay latex is hands down the highest quality latex that you can put into a mattress. All great things there. And by the way, these are very, very durable. So real quick, just to move on to our final thoughts, quality and durability, this bed is a 9 out of 10, but that takes us to some final thoughts. The best way that I can describe the EcoCloud mattress is, say you're having a barbecue and you've got great ground beef, it's like grass-fed, it's super juicy, super delectable, and you've got like Amish homemade burger buns, and you invite all your friends over. You're like, guys, we're having a cookout, having an awesome barbecue, I've got the best ground beef, I've got amazing buns, and they all come over, they're super excited. You make the burgers and give it to them, and they're like, wait a minute, where's the lettuce? Where's the cheese? Tomato, pickle, onion, ketchup, mustard, mayo. And you're like, oh, I didn't think about that. I only have the burger and the bun. It's not gonna work, and it doesn't work here in this mattress either. But there is a silver lining here. If WinkBeds adjust their future generation mattress by just adding in a transitional layer, making the top cover a little bit thicker, they're going to have an absolute killer of a mattress, and they are going to be able to go toe-to-toe with anyone in this market. However, the full takeaway right now, it's not very good. It lags behind. We're not super thrilled about this mattress, and we don't think that you will be either. And we don't really recommend it for anybody, just given the competition and what you can actually get out there at either a better price or a notably more comfortable mattress. And like I mentioned earlier in this review, for most people, we would actually recommend the Birch Natural Luxe mattress. That thing is phenomenal. I wouldn't recommend the Birch Natural Luxe or the Bare Natural mattress. Those are going to be your winning mattresses. We have full reviews linked below. I'll try to put them up here and here for you so you can make the best decision for yourself. Anyway, my name is Ethan. Thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next video.